Fuck it. We'll do it live. We will do it live. I have the best live streams. Nobody has better live streams than me. Everybody says they're the greatest. Nobody says that, actually. No, nobody fucking says it. Fuck it. I want to hear my Trump impression, actually. Hang on. We will do it live. Nobody has better live streams than me. It's actually not bad. We will do it live. I have the best live streams. Nobody has better live streams than me. Everybody says they're the greatest. I actually did the like the underbite thing that he does too. Nobody has better than me. You know, he just like exposes the bottom teeth. I missed the accordion hands too. Nobody does it better than me. I missed that part. Okay. Notes for next time. Notes for next time. All right. Let me see. What are we doing today? I'm gonna continue refactoring, and I'm gonna have a beer because I deserve it. And that's all the reason I need. Because I'm an adult. So what do I have here? I have a nice hazy-hearted IPA from Bell's Brewery. Let me get this nice. Let's see if I can get the crisp crack in here. Did that sound nice? Did that sound nice? So yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Here we are. There it is. Cheers. Cheers. Pink. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. I love a good hazy IPA. Extra hazy, please. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so let's continue what I was doing. I did a little bit this morning. First of all, is it running? Is the thing running? It is. Okay, it is running. Forgot where I left off. Let's see, 2,000. Give me 2,000 entities. Okay. Yeah, it is running. It is running. I've been going through and I kind of have like a stable underlying architecture for my ECS system, I think. A good base. It's a good wide base, a good foundation. And so I've just been going through and I've been doing a combination of splitting apart some of my entity datas. And then I think, yeah, here I'm splitting apart like velocity data or something here. The entity move to processor, actually, it never had the velocity data registered. Now I wonder actually, because I want to get this back to a working state, like the architecture of the ECS system works, but the actual logic, the gameplay logic for my entities is broken because of said architecture. So I think I'm just trying to get it back into a working state. And none of them move. None of them move, it seems. So do we still have... I think I just recently added an input velocity. An input velocity data. Did I actually end up doing that change? No, that's the only place I added it to. Okay. So I figured out that I need to have different velocities. One is like the actual calculated entity velocity. And I think I'm going to actually have two more. Only one other one for now, though. And that's the input velocity. Like how much velocity is being input into the entity, right? as in like from a AI controller kind of standpoint. So that is what I'm doing here. And so I think this just entirely needs to change to F input velocity entity data. And I think every other usage will. So change those, old velocity data. If I'm falling, return. Now that's, oof, okay. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna need to, the logic is now starting to diverge already. Okay. Direction, so I guess I just changed this to input velocity. We'll change this parami boy. Let's get you on over to input velocity entity data. Sure. Velocitor. This can be, change that to const. That's good. Velocity data. Okay. So this will be input velocity. Let's change this to control input. Okay, interesting, interesting. Let's first of all, no, we're going to change as little as possible. Change as little as possible. So that should be good. So let's rebuild there. Oh, we'll also need to apply that. So that's actually going to do nothing, but it will tell us if it compiles or not. Now in the velocity processor, I need to take the existing velocity plus the control input velocity, which, am I doing delta time here? Hey, I'm a C++ programmer though. What are we programming? I've been refactoring my ECS system over the past few days. And so now I'm going through, I kind of got the underlying architecture in a good spot. So I'm going through to all my old processors and updating. I need to split apart a bunch of, entity datas. I am not building my own engine. This is Unreal Engine. This will be for Unreal Engine. And I guess you will need, yeah, I need to add an input velocity. I have to like manually add that. And I think I'll probably change it to where the move to processor can just add that when it needs to, you know? Where are my, oh, they're on the other screen. Okay, that's good. Yeah, put those up there. Okay. Okay, so that does compile, but now I need to actually do stuff with it. What am I doing with it? Yeah, I wanted to see, did I use delta time here for anything? I gave you Terry the King vibe. I don't know what that is. I do have a delta time. What is the delta time based off of? Move to data. Delta seconds. Okay. So that last update, I might want to move that to the input velocity. Yeah, and then that way I don't think I'll need to update the move to data from here. Yeah, I think that would be a good change. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Last update time. Okay, I think that's good. Now let's go back through. Move to data. No, input or velocity. In what did I fucking call it? Oh, I just called it velocity entity data. That's fine. And as a matter of fact, yeah, change it to just velocity data. And then this should be velocity data. Oh yeah, and then I edit the transform rotation in here. Which maybe I should put rotation into its own entity data for that. Oh, I do edit move to data. I do edit that anyways. Okay, we have to do move to data anyway. But I do think this makes more sense. Move to data. F, okay, we need to change these. F velocity. F input velocity entity data. Input velocity. Well, actually, what editor is this? This is Writer by JetBrains. I do need to do this for the move to delta seconds. Input velocity sized, so I'm basically getting the speed, or rather I guess just the rate of, yeah, I think I need to do the original velocity data here, not the input. And honestly, I think this should actually stay as delta seconds. As velocity data, delta seconds. Oh no, you're good. You're good, bro. You're good. Yeah, I think we'll see how that goes. This is just for rotation, which is already not great, but I think actually just doing regular velocity is fine here. But then we need to apply that here. So I need to take in and honestly get rid of this function. Honestly, get rid of this. Well, it's kind of big. So we're gonna go const f input velocity entity data, input velocity data, and then we'll need to add that here. Make a copy of it as well as we pass it in. Just kind of nice that that's what that's what we can use this other function for, just copying the necessary things. Although no, we're not going to be editing that actually. No, we're not. We're just applying it. Then I'll need to add that to our required entity data, f input velocity entity data. Okay, so input velocity equals input velocity times I need to velocity input velocity data get delta seconds get world. Need to use these separate delta time. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so now what are we going to do with the input velocity? I think I have to... Let me see what we were doing in here. It would have been... Where was it? Where was it? Here. Velocity equals velocity plus... Okay. Essentially had to rewrite the velocity processing inside Unreal Engine to handle my entity system here. Yo, welcome in. C+? No, it is actually C++. You forgot a plus there. You were close though. You were quite close. Okay, so what am I doing with this velocity? Because I should be clamping it to like a max size. I should be clamping it to a max size. But how do I get that to apply to the existing velocity in here? Let me see what else I do here. Velocity equals sliding direction times velocity size. If we run into a walkable slope. Otherwise, do we even edit it anywhere? We add gravity. It's been so long since I've written this. It took a lot of tinkering as well. A lot of tinkering. Yeah, we add gravity and then we decay the X and Y velocity axes to like, when you're falling, you like kind of, you don't just keep going in the X and Y direction. And then new location. Oh yeah, because we do the impact trace. Oh Jesus. Okay. Plus the velocity data. What if I just set velocity equal to... What if I just do this? Let's just fucking see what happens, all right? This is gonna be janky as fuck. And who knows if they're even gonna move. We may have to boot up the procedural world as well to see how they handle the slopes and stuff. I have no doubt they're gonna just immediately fall through the ground now. Aragorn, you're really you're really hammering home that point there. Oh yeah, I forgot one of these guys. Okay, let's try that again. Good morning. Welcome in, private account. This is evening for me. I'm having a beer. Cheers. Wait, hang on. Let me cheers you properly. Cheers. Buddy. What's going on? Okay, so we built here. Let's see if it works. See if they actually like move around and shit. No, they're still not moving around. Oh, yeah, they are. Okay. We got that working. Yeah, and this is going to continue to fail. Yeah, the target processor until I fix this. Yeah, this is an issue as well. What's it? Can I skip that one? No. Okay. Maybe for now we just test with one entity, I think now. Love the lo-fi Ironforge music. Yeah, I know. The WoW music's really good. So is the Zelda music. And the AoE 2 music. It's all really good, honestly. It's all really good. What are you doing today? I'm just continuing my ECS system refactor. I've got like a solid foundation in place. So now I'm just going through and I need to like... Because of some of the architectural changes I made, it broke a lot of the gameplay logic. So now I'm going back through and like... splitting up my entity data to like smaller bits, and there's a lot of things that I was doing that I can now no longer do. So yeah, reconciling that. Okay, so yeah, that's he doesn't have the right animations. He doesn't have the right animations. Does he have the right logic though? He should move again here. What's going on with you, buddy? I'm interested to see if he can move on the terrain still. State tree data, there it is. He's still in the wander move too. So he's not there, technically speaking. Move to processor. What's happening here? So he moved once and then he's like done. Within acceptance radius is true. So he should be done moving. He should be done moving. He's not facing the target. I wonder. Stop, rotate on. So he should stop rotate. So that shouldn't be an issue. So yeah, we get here. We should update next frame. And then in the, what is it? The move to task. My neighbor very conveniently decided to start mowing right outside my window. It was really nice of him to wait for me to start streaming to do that. Okay, we're not, this is not getting updated, is it? Update, it is set to -1, right? Does that, I forget what that means. Oh, yeah, it's not updating properly. It is not updating properly. The state tree processor is overriding it. Yeah, that's what it is. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay, that's going to be a massive... Oh, shit. Okay. So the architecture I changed to uses like a command buffer for writes. And that means that all of the updates get put into a queue and it takes like the new data and it just overwrites the old data. So that means that these processors are overwriting each other. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. So probably the state tree processor. Probably this. Yeah, so we're just updating it unconditionally. Let's see. I wonder if there's... I guess there's some theoretical world where whenever I add a command buffer, it's add or edit is what it does. Add or edit. Add commands. We're in placing, and then we iterate over them at the beginning of the tick. I say as I can't find it. Wait, where am I using this fucking add commands? Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Then we do this. Okay, so... yeah, I guess there is a... well, I would probably do it here, actually. Whenever I want to queue up the... add command, I think what I would want to do is I would want to check if it's actually different than what's existing in there. And that would handle some of the conflicts and allow me to be a little bit more cavalier with my command buffer calls. But that's not going to solve every case. There's going to be cases where these processors step on each other's toes. And for the state tree, the state tree is more performant than the behavior tree. This is true. But I am still like doing some additional optimizations where I only update it when it needs to. And part of that is the update next frame. Part of that is the update next frame function. Catch block, question mark. Yeah, if only catch blocks worked where they could just catch logical bugs. That would be pretty cool. Just on catch anything I don't want to happen, please let me know. If only they worked that way, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, so what am I gonna do here? You know, I almost need to put this into its own... Because, like, I know a lot of other ECS systems use, like, a tag type system where, like, not like a system, but like a tag concept where they just have, like, an empty struct. Which, how big is a struct? How big is an empty struct? One. It's 1 byte. Okay, so that's pretty small. Give one priority and let the other wait until your process is done for that update cycle. Yeah, well, that would create synchronous processors that don't scale very well, and they would all need to happen on the same thread, right? They would need to happen in serial, which is not very scalable. So yeah, that would be an easy fix, but that doesn't solve the case of wanting to simulate thousands and thousands and thousands of NPCs. The best ring is the onion ring. I think the O ring is pretty nice too. Saw name had to join instantly. Welcome in, burnt pineapples. How you doing? I hope I'm not the only one having a beer tonight. Let's see here. Am I breakpointed or what? Yeah, well, let me show the world here, just so people can, some new folks can see what we're about here. World map. We'll just go new seed, random seed. So I'm working on about automated AI trading. Oh, fun. I'm working on an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural destructible terrain and AI-generated quests. So here is one small section of the procedural terrain. This is a nice seed. This is a really nice seed, actually. Oh, it does a really good job of showing the caves. Oh, that's fucking sick, dude. Oh my god, the caves here are sick. Yeah, so complete with underground caves and stuff. Here's me. Record scratch. You're probably wondering how I ended up here. But here's my world. Look at it. Here is the world map. And each one of these different colors is like a different zone or a different biome. And in my game, they all have like names. So if you look up here, you can see the name of the thing that I'm hovering over. Emberreach Bastion up here. Frostbite Tundra. The second circle of hell, apparently. Oasis of Serenity. Moonlit Vale. Phantom Bastion. I think I'm in Ashenfang Wastes right now. Amaranthine Coast. And so actually what I do, each one of these pixels is a terrain chunk, and what I do is I create mountains around the edges of each one of these. And ideally it's a different biome. Right now I only have like 2, so it's not that interesting. But these border mountains create like a nice contained like zone, and the zone has a name, and here's like some of those mountains right there. The zone has like a name. It'll have its own lore. I'll feed that into the AI generated quests. It'll have its own points of interest and stuff like that. Its own little towns or whatever. Here's some more. So if I look at it top down, you can kind of see the mountain ranges here. Now this mountain range just got extruded by the noise of the zone. Like the terrain noise for this zone, like what I do is I can actually blend the terrain noises together. And so I can actually use just different parameterized sets of noise for each zone, which is pretty fun. I think I only have like 4 or 5 right now, but I just kind of have like some kind of medium, middle of the road zone over here. Over here is like my meadows biome. A nice little cave right there. So this is the meadows biome with the big, it's not so, this is like my second one, but it's not so wooded and it has big trees and stuff. But over here it's like kind of rocky, you know, little hills. And over here is, I actually have an altitude curve that I can apply based on the altitude of the terrain chunks. So, you know, like there's a terrain chunk, there's a terrain chunk, everywhere's a terrain chunk. And so this one got like moved up higher, and then it also multiplied the noise. So it extruded this mountain quite a bit more. And so you can see each chunk I hover over, there's an altitude value, and that's like how light or dark it is. And so like this zone is really high because it's from 0 to 1. And so the altitude is like at its highest, like right here, there you go. That's the highest spot in the world probably. An altitude of 1 right here. Oh God, I clicked on it. Oh God, I clicked on it. Oh God. Okay, so we just went somewhere else. I click on the map and I teleport. Randomly generated paths between biomes separated by mountains, question mark? I don't know what, is that a question or or a statement? I don't know. And you can see all the terrain is actually, like I have all the terrain data here, but I unload the meshes. So the terrain data and stuff is still over here, which the foliage should be getting cleaned up actually. The grass should be getting cleaned up. But I do that just to save on memory a little bit. But yeah, here's my meadows biome. And yes, I am programming a game. It's going to be RPG Colony Sim Roguelite combo. So I have like a building system as well. And my controller broke actually, so I can't show that. Maybe we can check out a new seed and I'll show that. But yeah, this is just like a nice flat zone, I guess. Not super interesting. See if I can run back over there and get the rest of that area generated. Release date, question mark. Yeah, ask me again in 5 years. These are all just placeholder assets still at the moment. So it's all stuff that I need to replace. And I've like ripped WoW sounds and stuff like that. Yeah, and then we have the caves. The caves were a fucking giga pain in the ass to get working, and created just all sorts of fucking gameplay considerations. But they look sick. You know, they got some wood. I can grab some wood there. These are mushrooms. I can grab the mushrooms. I have a mushroom nuclei. I can eat it, and I will regain health, you know. Eventually there'll be ore spawned down here and some monsters and stuff. Usually I have all my entities spawned in the world here. Usually I do. But we're working on that system right now, so it's in flux. It is, the crux of it is that it is in flux. I have a hemp leaf, which is useful for things. ... Bro, you are a perfect front and back end mix programmer. I really admire your work. Oh, give me all the glaze. I need all of your guys' glaze. Glaze me, please. WoW classic sounds are goated. I agree, dude. I agree. Nice little fireball sound there, you know. Frost Nova? Frost Nova. I'm no artist, so none of the assets are created by me or anything. Now here's a good example of a zone entrance chunk. What is a zone entrance chunk, Mydron? Okay, well, I'll tell you. Thank you for asking. There are these little white dots on here. And so I was saying that I surround all these zones with border mountains to create this nice kind of contained zone. I'm modeling that after WoW zones, like classic WoW zones. And instead of like a game like Minecraft or Valheim, where the biomes just kind of seamlessly blend from one to another and they don't really have like an edge or a border to them, I want there to be those physical like landmark borders, right? And then I want just random entrances into each one. So that's one of those. So I just kind of pick a terrain chunk. I pick terrain chunks at random and I say, hey, don't render mountains here, terrain generator. And he's like, okay, I got you, fam. And then he does that. And I'm like, wow, thanks. And, you know, everyone's happy. But I think this creates like a really nice sense of like exploration. So it's like you've been in this zone, right? This zone is just large and flat, you know, it's got its own certain resources in it, you know, it's got the specific things in it, specific mobs and stuff like that. But then you see this break in the mountains and it's like an entirely new zone. But like right now they're not too different. Eventually they'll be like drastically different. You know, whenever the day comes for me to actually get assets. And, you know, think of like the transition between Barrens and Ashenvale, where it goes from like this African Sahara type zone and drastically changes into like this magical enchanted forest type zone. And so that's kind of the transition that I'm trying to simulate. And I kind of like that it creates this nice contained thing. I don't know what to say, experience. Like, to like you go around in this zone, the zone is contained, the story is kind of contained. You know, maybe there's some overlap in the story between zones, but and then you go to the next zone and it's like entirely different and it's like a new place. And it's not like in Minecraft or Valheim where it's just like you can see kind of the entire zone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'm making sense there, but for me it's a much cooler experience is what I'm trying to say. I have dynamic tree chopping as well. So wherever the axe connects with the tree, I modify the static mesh at runtime. So when I chop all the way through, I can chop them separately, right? There you go. And I got 10 wood from that. And so I can do that to all the trees and stuff like that. How do you handle events? I only use QT platform. Do you use Arch like QT? I have no idea what that means. I agree with that from having played WoW. Yeah, so you know, I think you know everyone's played Minecraft as well, so the experience is just different. It's different when you can't see the zone and you're just like you're wandering around in this zone and you're like, where can I go from here? You know what I mean? And then you find out like some entrance, like, cause this will all be like fog of war, you know, you won't see all this. And so you'll just be wandering around in the zone and then you'll see the zone exit and be like, oh, like what's on the other side, you know? And you can't see it because there's like mountains in the way, you know, maybe I'll do some like rivers and stuff like this, you know, some other types of landmarks and that kind of thing. It's destructible terrain as well. I don't know if I mentioned that. We'll see if I can get that to work. It's just kind of proof of concept at the moment. Let me see here. Oh god. There we go. Oh, beautiful. So yeah, the can you stop? He was getting a little overzealous with the mining there, but yeah, this is what I'll use for digging and stuff. And it's a colony sim, so your colonists will be able to do this as well. You'll be able to specify areas in the world to like dig out and stuff, and this is how you'll get ore. So yeah, I can actually edit the terrain at runtime as well, is what I'm trying to show here. But it is woefully unuseful and very shitty. So more work to be done there. More work to be done there. Already sold this, I'll some come back in 5 years. Hell yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. So I appreciate your sub, my dude. Thank you and welcome in. Studied C# in college, but slowly realized I don't have the patience to be a developer, so I'm going into network engineering and cybersecurity instead. Nice. Those are also cool fields. Those are also very cool fields. Let me grab a new seed. Some seeds are super boring because I don't have that much terrain noise. I'm planning a terrain generation refactor, so I'm gonna probably spend some more time on it. And speaking of fucking boring ass seeds, here's me in the middle of the ocean. Here's me in the middle of the ocean. So we'll go 604, seed 604. Part of me still wants to make games though. You can still do that in your free time, you know? I totally get not having the patience to be a developer for like, you know, your salary. Cause yeah, it fucking kind of sucks sometimes. Kind of sucks sometimes. I'm a software engineer by day, so I feel you, I do. It's a nice, like, video game programming is like the funnest programming you can do, in my opinion. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. Because it's like, what other programming can you do where you can, like, run around in a world that you fucking created? Like, that's pretty sick, right? That's pretty sick. What I really want is like a procedural iron forge in like a giant mountain or something. Or like when I look down in this, oh, dude, that's so sick. Like a giant cave. I want to look down there and my terrain chunk generation is, I need to extend the radius. Oh, and it like pokes through here. What I want is I want to look down here and I want to see a fucking goblin city. Like goblins running around like fucking ants, you know? That's what I want to see. Or like a Balrog running around, you know, like on fire, just like slowly stomping around in the dark. That would be fucking sick. That's the goals here with this. So yeah, that's kind of a boring seed. Kind of a boring seed. Let's go seed 605. And I'm having a beer tonight, y'all. Cheers. I have a nice, what do I say here? Hazy IPA. The seed shows some different textures. Oh, I spawned in a cave. Kind of in a cave. My LOTR fan. Oh, yeah. I have the Tower of Barad-dûr right behind me. Wow. See, this is so one of the cool things about these border mountains is that, like, there's not always going to be a zone entrance chunk between the zones. But one thing you can do is, I think what I just did. Yeah, so one thing you can do, I sort of did it, but like sometimes there's like a random cave that goes through the mountains. Right, so you can sometimes find a way to the next zone through some RNG cave. And when you pop out the other side on that, it is such a cool experience. 'Cause it really just kind of opens up. It's really cool. You can also just like dig through it if you wanted to. I think I'll make them thick enough though that at least at the beginning of the game, that's not really realistic. And like you'll have a shitty pickaxe, you know? And then you can also build up and then back down as well. If you have the resources for it, right? Because I do have the building system. Which I meant to show you, that's why I restarted. So yeah, here's my like little building menu. And so with the chopped like tree wood, you can like, you know, you can make a little house. Your colonists will have feelings and stats and like, you know, they'll want their own room or they'll want some nice furniture and stuff like that. I actually kind of want to incorporate like a little bit of Animal Crossing. Call me crazy. I kind of want to incorporate a little bit of Animal Crossing in here. Me and Animal Crossing used to go steady back in the day, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a little bit of the game. A little bit of the game. So I'm thinking like Vanilla WoW plus RimWorld plus Hades is going to be the vibe I'm going for. Instant card belongs to the ants. Yeah, I love that. I loved that. I love when like the one ant gets caught on fire and then the flood, they like, they break the dam and then he has to stick his flaming head into the flood water. That was, when I was a kid, that was always one of my favorites. Yeah, there's a little bit of the world. A little bit of the world. We'll do one more. Let's do one more seed. 606. So here's my spiky terrain. I was trying to do like a Blade's Edge Mountains type noise. Yes, yes, Parador belongs to you. We know, we know. A clever wave function collapse algorithm to generate procedural iron forge like biome would be cool. Yeah, may use some waveform collapse. I don't know. We'll see what I need to use. I'm probably just going to stick with PCG for content generation, like points of interest and stuff, but there's no reason that I can't implement my own little waveform collapse inside of that. So I still need to do like the procedural POIs, points of interest and stuff. I've already kind of like done one of those, and actually maybe I can fucking... Let me grab a new seed. I think I have like one. Actually, that might be a good seed to test in. Hang on. Was it in my Meadow PCG graph that I did it in? What? 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 What are you doing? What is this? What is null here? Could you please go away? I need to see my debugger here. I need to see if the ISM subsystem is a null pointer. Is that because I opened an asset? Like what? Bro, what? What is this? What is this? The ISM subsystem doesn't fucking exist now. I mean, I can fix that easily. Might as well do that as well. Draconin, welcome in. A late stream indeed. With beer. With beer. Dink. Cheers. I'm resnactoring and drinking beer. What could go wrong? I was resnactoring. Now I'm just waiting for this to build. I did do a little proof of concept for like a, just like a little tiny point of interest. I just like spawned some random assets. I was gonna see if I could show that real quick. I forgot which graph it was on. I was just trying to look at that. Bro, what is your fucking... Why is this happening all of a sudden? I mean, fair, but like, why is it happening? Why is it happening now? Hello, please. Okay, there we go. Get that over there. Get that over there. Encampment whip. Okay, yeah, this is it. I think I need to plug that in there. Wait, distance. Oh shit, what did I have? What did I have in here? You're at the mercy of the code base now. Oh god. I have no one to blame but myself. No. No. Best viewers. Oh shit. I already thought I had those. I guess not. Distance. What was I doing distance between? Itself, maybe? Density filter. Create spline. I think I was doing like matches grass. I think I was doing like something like matches dirt. Hang on, let me grab one of these. Well, let's just fucking start up one of these bad boys here. Yeah, give me that. We'll rerun the graph kind of ad hoc here. Only through tests can we know the right path. Ah, yes, of course. Yes, of course. The words of the elder. Words of the elders, yes. I'm not gonna connect that yet. Ah, shit. Fuck me. What are you mad at? What are you mad at? Ranged 4 on what? An assertion, no, so we're good. So I think, like, I'm doing distance between self there, and then I think this needs to be dirt. Is what I had. And then we'll connect that there. I am not spawned yet. Okay, I am not spawned yet. Let's grab a nice little chunk. A nice little what? Oh, yeah, I don't think I did it right, guys. I don't think I did it right. Okay, yeah, that's not right. It ain't right. It ain't right. It ain't right. What did I have plugged into that? I think probably let's instead do, so we paused regen. Let's just do this. I don't think it's going to, that's probably gonna, oh shit. Yes, it has. Yes, it has changed. Yes, it has. Yeah, there's your points of interest. There's your points of interest right there. I had it initially to where I was able to surround the dirt patches with like little barricades and towers, and it was really cool. Really cool. Distance. Oh, I know what it was. If I'm doing distance, I need from... I think I was doing something like that. Oh, hang on. Let's just end and rebuild. How can I focus on streaming? I don't know. I just locked the fuck in. I don't know. Looks good to me. Perfect. Okay, here we go. There we go. That's more so what I was looking for. It's like, it's shitty, but in theory it works, right? Yeah, I can just come up with rules-based... I mean, PCG with an Unreal Engine is really powerful. So I can just come up with... I don't need a wave function collapse or anything, but I can use that as inspiration. It's actually going to be quite a bit easier than something like that. But the logic I was going for here was like... So you see how all the terrain is like different colors and stuff? If I do generate and show vertex data, I'll pause it here. You see how I actually have the colors for all this? Like, I actually have some noise that I run that dictates what the terrain is actually made out of. And it generates that on a per vertex case here. So here's all the vertices of the terrain. And this is also the collision. But every vertex has like a value for like what physical material is made out of that. And this is like Unreal Engine has like a built-in physical material kind of system, but it has a lot of like limitations to it. But I kind of like worked this out with just vertex data. And so when I like deform the terrain, I'll need to rerun that for the new verts that get created. And because like when you hit this with like a pickaxe, you want the stone to react differently than the dirt, right? So I need that data. And so this is the same data that PCG gets when I run this. And so what I was doing here was I was saying, Yeah, give me all the dirt points and give me their distance to the non-dirt, or I think I would say grass points, and then give me all the distance. I should probably flip that, right? Oh no, this is right. This is right. I was saying, give me all the non-grass points and give me their distance to the grass points. Give me the ones that are closest, and then spawn a spline and some stuff along the spline. It doesn't work perfectly, but you can see how it like kind of roughly outlines, the fucking different physical materials, you know? So yeah, that was just like a rough, quick and dirty. Quick and dirty. Let me put a little note here. Dist, I'll say get edges of dirt. I'll know what that means. I'll know what that means. Should we do a new seed? Let's just do a new seed. Elliot, welcome in. I was just showing like a little proof of concept or something. Like a little, it was a doodle. It was the equivalent of a doodle. Elliot, you are just the man I'd like to see. I've been doing some C++, some heavy C++ variadic template argument programming. And my God, is it the most disgusting code I've ever written. I've been refactoring the ECS system, Elliot. Yeah, here's another seed. Another little meadows biome over here. This one's not super interesting or anything. But like, look at my nasty ass. I didn't mean to end the sentence there. I didn't mean to. Like, look how disgusting this for each got. Look at this. Like, look at that. What is this syntax? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck does that even mean? All to just like generically get entity types in a variadic template using the like pack operator, you know, or whatever that's called. So yeah, let's continue with the resnactor here. I'll remember what this means, and 90% of the time a lie. I know, that's why I said it. I knew someone would find that funny. Is this Unreal Engine? Yes, it is. Oh, now I get what you mean. Never used Unreal, so didn't even know about that. Yeah, it's a really cool like interface. It's a really cool, like, you can just like use these graphs and these pre-built nodes to just kind of like make procedural stuff. So it's really nice. It's a compile time for loop. Yeah. I mean, there is an actual for loop there too, but like, yeah, this is like the fucking like, but like reading this is AIDS, right? It's AIDS, and it's just getting all the entity data pool pointers. How about adding a JavaScript for making it rain? Yeah, that's very poignant. Yes, but is it possible for grass to grow from the dirt? I mean, yeah, I just kind of did that for flavor, just to kind of proof of concept. None of it's final. So yeah, I've been refactoring the entity system, and I've already seen some pretty good performance benefits. But part of the changes I made, I have a command buffer now that queues up write commands, so that background threaded async tasks can write to that command buffer. Then that command buffer will replace the existing data. And then that way, you know, I can have these long-running async tasks, and they're completely isolated. I cache it all the data too, and I send it to the async tasks when they need it. And as a part of that, what's happening is I didn't have that kind of a concept in my previous system, so now all my gameplay logic is just fucking broken. And they're all like overriding each other. Like multiple processors edit multiple data, and they just, because it's in a queue, it just overwrites each other. Okay, hang on, one second. Okay, sorry. So yeah, command buffer. Command buffer D's nuts. How about that? Okay. So I'm just trying to get all my processors running again. I suppose they moved, but then the state tree, right? The state tree. What am I gonna do about the state tree? I was thinking that I could do some sort of check on each piece of data to be like, hey, is this changed from the other one? And I guess I could deduce that from like a virtual function. I don't think I need the command buffer adding to be that quick. So virtual function lookups are a consideration for performance. I think Dr. Elliott might have taught me that. Yeah, I do have a base entity data, even though I don't really reference these other than for vlogger debugging. Get rid of that. I don't use that at all. But I could have some sort of function on here that's like bool is or like should update, and then have like a other, you know, of this type, which would need to be templated. That would need to be templated. There would be something like type name entity data type, because this needs to be generic entity data type. So other entity data type, that needs to be const ref, and then we would do something like other. Fuck, but then I would need to get the individual thingies. The individual properties. This is a lot easier when I was using U objects. Let me tell you. I think probably actually the easiest way to go about this is not to do something like that, because that's going to require some complex C++ shit. And I'll call it shit. I'm not afraid to. Okay. I think what I should probably do is have the update. I'm just clicking on random shit right now. Okay. What I need is state tree data. Plop that up there. I think maybe the update. I think this needs to be separate. Yeah, I think I need to break out literally all of my state tree data into separate things. Like, yeah, I think these need to update with this reset update timer. Yeah, I think all of this maybe just needs to be in its own entity data. And then that way other things can write to it. And I don't think I would care about collisions so much on this data. I don't think I use reset update timer really anywhere. Oh, just in the... Okay, in the yeah, when it gets processed, okay. What am I trying to do? So I have a command buffer now for my writes to allow for async processing. And then all my command buffer writes happen at the beginning of the tick before the rest of the processors get processed. And what's happening is the way I have my old processors set up is like a lot of them write the same data, which causes they're stepping on each other's toes, right? They're overwriting each other's data, and now the logic doesn't work. The data specifically that I'm talking about is when to update my state tree. Like a lot of different things call this update next frame function. I guess two different processors do. I guess it's only just moved to, actually, let me look at that. Really only moved to. The rest of it happens from outside of... That happens from outside, which maybe can still, that maybe would still get overridden. Yeah, I think maybe the move to processor shouldn't. Make it a function. Okay, yeah. And a lecturer in my college who's 80 plus, fresh as hell. I love that. So yeah, I'm trying to basically split apart my entity data to where they're not stepping on each other's toes. But actually, if this is only really called from like one... This is only called from like one fucking processor. I might just try and get, let's just get rid of that and see what happens, you know? Well, actually, I don't even update that, do I? Oh no, but I'm getting it here. See, this is another pattern that I should not fucking do. Shouldn't have done that. Let's try that and see what happens, just to test. We'll see if my state tree tasks, my state tree tasks are probably the ones that should be doing that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. And so what's going to happen when I try to update a piece of entity data from outside of the processors? I think that would actually be okay. Unless an async processor writes as well. I wonder if I could write a command buffer that's like, if it gets multiple for the same type, for the same entity, it delays it, and it does one per frame. Does that sound like a good idea? And then that way it gives all the processors a chance to respond to that new data. What is taking so long? Please build. Thank you. And so I just don't remove from the queue if there's multiple of the same. That would cause delays in gameplay logic, but I'm already like accepting that there's already going to be at least one frame of non like inconsistency or like non. It's not like you're gonna get the data is gonna be a little bit delayed, and that's fine. I don't need frame perfect anything, and I'm just gonna consider that when I write my gameplay logic. And if it's a couple frames behind, no one's gonna fucking be the wiser, you know? At least I hope. At least I hope. Okay, so we're gonna build this and we're just gonna see what happens. Your code sucks. Hey, I know that. You don't say that. I say that. I know that. At least it ain't no pirate software ass code, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we've all been there, right? We've all written some pirate software code, and it worked. It works, you know? So you can't hate on him too much for that. You can hate on him for other reasons, but not for that, I don't think. Okay, let's go back to the test level. Frames can make the difference. Yeah, if you're relying on it, yes. But I'm not relying on anything being frame perfect. Okay, he's moving. Yes, good. Good. He's stuck. See, I don't think that worked then. Not that. Visual logger. What are you stuck on? What are you stuck on? Huh? State tree, yeah, update within is -1. So let me check his, what do I want to check? The colonist state tree. Your move to, sir. Show me your move to. Quite simple, really. Quite simple, really. Yeah, this doesn't have... So I had to write my own, like, tick rate kind of things. So I can just, like, do... like a tick or something. But also this should be returning successful and shit, right? Does the move to task ever return successful? That's the question. It does. Do I get there? Do I get there? Does it have to tick? I think it might have to tick, and that's why. Yeah, it might tick. That's what does it. Like we tick the state tree and it hits this again. So yeah, I think probably, yeah, maybe I should just rely on there not being, like, I need to rely on the state tree only to do the ticking. So give me tick state tree every frame. Do I need to tick every frame? Not for this one. I can tick every second. I can tick every second to just, and all that's gonna do is check if we're at our wander destination. And it's already like a very, a random wander time. He's moving. Yes, he moved. Good. Good. His animations are wrong. He's not animating at all. Also, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're supposed to be ticking. Why are you not ticking, sir? It's 3 a.m. in my country. I liked your work and I will follow you more. To you after that stream. Goodbye. Have a good night. Good night to you. Why did this no work? Oh, because it's the, is it the wait task actually? Wait, what task are you on? What task are you on? No, you're on the wander move to. Last update time in seconds was 0.42. Why is my tick state tree every 1 second? Oh, because that is also using the same mechanism. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I think maybe the winning formula here, I don't know, I kind of want to try the other thing. Let's try that idea I had. We'll see how well that works out. But I think probably the best idea, let's remove this just to be the same as before. I think probably the best idea is to just avoid any data collisions as much as possible. But I think maybe writing a system. Okay, let's commit this first. I want a nice clean slate. I want a nice clean slate. Let's do, this is going to be split out input velocity from velocity entity data. That's going to be that one. Yes. Okay, so commit that. Now let's think about this a little bit. Where's my command buffer? Rewrite the entire state tree? Okay, yeah, we should do that instead, actually. Process pending command buffers. I need some beer first. Ah, nice. Nice. Command buffers by type. Right, and so I have to use this nastiness as well for the generic type ID lookups. Right, and then I just add entity data. What are you drinking? I am drinking a nice hazy hearted IPA that is backwards by Bell's Brewery. It's not bad. It is not bad. So yeah, I need to, I think, track typed buffer add commands, which has the tuple of the entity. That's the entity. And then that's the command add entity data. Yeah, okay, so probably in here. Wait, where do I remove? Where do I remove or clear the add? The add commands. Do I call clear? Do I actually clear it? I do. Okay. Okay. I hope I hope there will be Alliance and Horde like WoW, and players can pick freely. Unless they pick Horde, then auto permaban them. Yeah. I think I feel the same, but except for Alliance. Oh, sorry. Alliance scum. Anyways, yeah, so I need a way to like say, hey. I think I need a separate array. Maybe even a T set. Maybe even a T set. Horde love to gank. Ally love to gank. What do you mean? Our keg stands in the game yet. Ernie Cog, I can't even get the game to compile. Welcome, Endo. Good evening. Maybe a T set of F my entity? Entities already edited. Entities. Entities already edited. And so subsystem, add entity data for the type, get the pool. I guess I need to write here. Where else am I calling this from? Is it okay to do this here? I am also doing it for spawning things. I think I could do it from in here. Subsystem, I could. This is going to be a little bit slower. No, I shouldn't do this. That's going to be slower if I do it there. F my entity, poor entity. I know. I made chili cheese fries. Oh fuck yeah! Did you make enough for the class? You have to throw them away if you didn't make enough for the class. Oh, and the add function. The add function. Add entity data. That's just for spawning. That's just for spawning. Okay, let's go ahead and add it in here. Oh, this will be for edited. Yeah, so we're just going to do this. Pool. Already, or what did I call it? Entities. Oh, is it private? Oh no, I have to use this one. Okay. Okay, so we need like a... Am I using all of these? Okay, yeah, let's... Okay. Clone was not found. Okay. Got rid of a couple that we don't need. Okay. So now I need like a... Oh, wait. Wait. Am I crazy? Where did I just... Oh, in command buffer. For the entity type. Q add data command. For each. So I do have to do it here, actually. But this is actually fine because I don't need to look up the buffer. Entities already edited. Add let's do this. Const. There we go. Yeah. And look how disgusting the syntax is. You have to put template there first. Which is disgusting. So we add that there, and I'll say, well, we add that at the end. I'll say, if it already contains the entity, just call that entity. YouTube Shorts only eats chicken nuggies and Easy Mac, so I figured I wouldn't need to share. Oh, he's talking shit, YouTube Shorts. You gonna take that? Are you gonna take that? Oh my word. Turning cock, shots fired. Shows violence. Anyways. So we can no longer do the empty here. And I think what we want to do is we only want to remove the first... And honestly, can I remove from here? I kind of just want to remove from here. We can just do a 4i. Or we can do a while. Yeah, let's do a while. Int 32 for, well, it should probably be a full int. This will be command index 0. While command index. Thank you for the follow, Frantic. Welcome in. I'm not gonna fire back. I'm switching sides. Okay, there you go. There you go. Welcome to the purple side. Turnicog, your chili cheese fries have converted a YouTube Shorts member. How do you feel? Tell us how you feel. Well, I'd like to thank my microwave for warming up the chili cheese fries. Hello, who is that? Velcro Beans. No, it's John Cena. Velcro Beans, welcome. Welcome. Oh, shit.
Why are you running? Bang up here. Put it in reverse.
Oh, fuck.
Put it in reverse.
While it's less than. Welcome in. How is your stream?
We got him. What the dog doing?
Last shout out. Let me hit you with the shout outs. Velcro Beans. I do love that name. That's a very unique name. What kind of dev do you do? I'm unfamiliar. Or do you do dev at all? Are you a game dever yourself? I heated the chili on the stove. Okay. Well, I'd like to thank my stove for converting yet another YouTube Shorts viewer. Welcome in. We're working on an ECS system refactor right now. I can switch over. Let me show the game off a little bit here. A good time to do so. I'm Mydron. Welcome in, everyone. I'm working on an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural terrain and AI generated quests. Oh, this is kind of a boring seed. It's kind of a boring seed. But I have an ECS system as well, so we'll be running the whole world. It's quite a large world. And I'm working on some refactors to that. We've had it working. Usually we spawn like several thousand, but I want to push it further. There's a little bit more interesting of a seed. A little bit more interesting. Beanie beans. Lots of beans in the chat now. I love that. I made eggs and beans and bacon yesterday. Oh hell, dude, so much beans. I love it. Professional is C# working on a game in Unity. Oh hell yeah. Nice. Tell me about your game. If you care to stay. If you need to leave, by all means, please do so. I'm working in Unreal Engine, so RPG Colony Sim Roguelite. Destructible terrain as well, although it kind of sucks at the moment. It's just kind of a proof of concept. But there is a runtime. Look at that, huh? It does technically edit at runtime. Technically. Okay, let's find a good seed. Show the people a good seed, RNGesus. Come on now. Completely flat. Yeah, that's not exactly what I would call a good seed. Completely flat. Every single zone is the same noise. That's not... Oh, a roguelike dungeon crawler game. Oh, hell yeah, that sounds awesome. Multiplayer as well. I love that. But that's my talent tree. Here's my world map. He's taken off, but I do his community stuff, so I answer for him. Okay. Now, what are your thoughts on the current political climate in the United States. And while you're at it, can you give me your take on abortion and religion as well? I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Now that he's gone. Just tell ChatGPT to do the rest. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just one-shot prompt that. Cavino. Welcome in. Trying to get them in trouble now. Whoa, 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 whoa. It wasn't me. They said they spoke for him. I answer for him. So, you know. Voxel-based terrain or mesh deformation. It's just like a per vertex thing. So not based on any voxel or anything. But I do use like a custom marching cubes compute shader. Or like the noises. So there's a little bit of voxelization. Just not inherently tied to a voxel resolution. But what I want to do with the world is like, you know how like in here's a good seed. Now here's a good seed. There you go. Look at that. It's nice variadic altitudes there. I speak for Beans. Okay. Beans, what is your take? What are Beans' take on the current political climate in the U.S. and the urban housing economy? I'm having a beer tonight, can you tell? But like, you know how like in something like that, I'm in a completely rectangular zone. I've never seen that before. I'm in boreal forest. But like in Valheim or Minecraft, their biomes and zones are, they just kind of seamlessly, I've heard Beans, so I came running. I knew you would. You're easy. I could put a can of beans underneath a cardboard box propped up on a stick. Mandy lands under that box in a fucking split second. I'm trying to explain the game and y'all are being too funny because of the beans. I'm still here but was feeding the dog. The actual Velcro beans. Now, which is the real Velcro beans? Because I've heard a lot of people speak for you. One of them is the mouth of Sauron, I suppose, as well. How much RAM does it take to run the system now? So it's not like right now I'm using 14 gigs of RAM in editor, but the editor just like caches the entire fucking world, so it's not completely representative, but it's a lot of RAM. That's my biggest bottleneck for sure. Everyone will be happier with more beans. Yeah, that is true. I have heard that. I think the greatest minds. I think that was actually Aristotle. Wasn't that Aristotle who said that? Will the real Velcro beans please stand up? Yes, we're dying to know who the real Velcro beans is. What's the amount of time you spend on it? How much longer? At least 5 years longer. I've spent, it's approaching 3 years now. I have, what I'm showing here is the dynamic tree chopping. So I can, wherever the axe connects is where it like deforms the mesh at runtime. So I got 7 wood from that, now I have 11. How much dedicated RAM should you have for the server? Oh, I am nowhere close to making that kind of a statement yet. This is all placeholder assets. This is all placeholder. It's a game, it's gamey, and it's the game, it's the greatest game. Greatest game, the gamiest game that ever gamed. They say I have the greatest game, the largest hands as well. No one's ever created a game quite like I can, and they do say that, they do. Let me finish my beer. I don't think I've had enough beer yet. So what I'm going for, let's make games great. Didn't, what was the game where the guy came out on stage and he had a hat that said something like that? And then like people hated him. It was that shooter game. Oh, it was like make FPS great again or something like that, right? Games like this game, they really game. So, yeah, RPG Colony Sim Roguelite. I'm thinking of like, it's gonna be like Vanilla WoW plus RimWorld plus Hades is kind of what I'm going for. Let them eat game. And what I was trying to say about the zones is like, if you picture like World of Warcraft or like Vanilla WoW or something, all the zones are like very drastically different, right? And then they all have physical borders to them, like mountains or rivers or something like that. And if you compare that kind of a zone design to the zone design of something like Minecraft or Valheim, where the procedural biomes just kind of like seamlessly blend from one to another. There's no like edge to the zone. There's no border to the zone. You know, those are great games. Love both of those games. But I wanted to emulate kind of like, what if there was a procedural WoW world? And so what I've done with these zones here is I've actually outlined all of them with mountains. I actually created a spline for each of these and sampled that spline per vertex to get, and lerped away from it to generate the terrain. But then these white dots are like the entrances in between the zones, right? And so like in WoW, when you go from somewhere like Barrens, go to Ashenvale, you go from like this African Sahara type zone to like a magical enchanted forest type zone. It's this very drastic change, and it creates this experience that's really cool when you cross the threshold. Because it's like, you've been in Barrens, you've been in this African Sahara type zone, you can't really see other zones other than like a little peek through, you know, whatever few entrances there might be, right? And it creates this really cool sense of exploration that I wanted to emulate. And when you walk into Ashenvale, it just kind of opens up and you're just like, whoa, this zone is like completely different. And so that's kind of what I wanted to emulate. And so here's one of those zone entrance chunks. All my zones are like the fucking same right now. I don't have very many. So it's not a very cool experience at the moment, but it will be. Trust me, it fucking will be. But you can see this is that completely square zone. I do a bit of jostling on the mountains to make them not so uniform. But you can see this is the border mountain around this. So this is one zone right here. And then there's the zone entrance, how you get out of that zone. So that's what I was trying to say about the zones and stuff. And usually I have a bunch of entities spawned in here. And they're all like running constantly, even if the terrain isn't generated. Like here, like you can see like the nav mesh is still there. And the meshes, the terrain meshes aren't invisible. They're straight up not generated. And I export the vertex and index buffer data that I get from my compute shader terrain generation outputs. I can export those to like the nav mesh, and the nav mesh just knows what that's supposed to look like. And then I also write some of my own PCG nodes that kind of treat that data as a bounding volume hierarchy, which is like a kind of spatial data structure that allows you to really efficiently do like line traces and collisions through it without actually needing collision. So like there's no terrain chunk here, there's no collision here, but PCG still knows how to render, still knows that there's going to be like a cave right here. It still knows where all this stuff is supposed to be because of that spatial data structure. So that's how I'm going to run the whole world. That's how I plan to run the whole world. And still stay memory performant. It's like the tiniest of tiny memory optimizations. Want to add a volcanic zone for player to get resources for periodic events. You lost me there in the second half, not gonna lie, but I will have like volcanoes and like lava zones and stuff like that. That's definitely on the radar. I do want to make it multiplayer. Right now, the only thing that's replicated is the player, so there's still quite a bit of work to do there. I think that'll probably, once I refactor the ECS system, once I refactor my terrain gen, I'll probably take another pass. You can see this is like one example of like a zone that might be drastically different. I only have 2 different biomes, so like the stuff spawned in each zone is like the biome. But I have like 3 different textures, and you can see each of those here. So you got like the dark green, the light green, and the red. And so I'm hoping that each biome is actually a little bit dynamic. Like it's not like in Minecraft, you know, like the jungle biome is the jungle biome, and every jungle biome you find the same shit's there. I don't want that, you know. So I want a little bit of dynamicness, you know. And of course, like the zone, you know, when you start a new world, the zone at 0, which is the center, like that's going to be a low level zone, and it'll get higher level as you go out. So you might get like a low level lava zone to start out, you know, or you might just get a low level grasslands or something. And so that'll have a different impact on gameplay. I'm hoping to, and I don't know what form this will take, probably through crafting. But like the drops that you get from, like, you know, let's say there's a lava elemental in the lava zone, right? You can imagine that. I hope you can imagine that. You know, getting like some sort of lava essence drop from the lava elemental, you know, at level 1, that might be huge because you can make some like lava related elemental crafts or something like that, right? You can make some lava potions, or I don't know what it'll be. And so that could be huge, but there'll be like a weak form of it, right? Whereas if you got to level 50 and killed a level 58 lava elemental, like that might drop a more powerful incarnation of the lava essence or something. So that'll have a different impact on the gameplay as you traverse through the world, I'm hoping. When Goro crater type biome went, oh, for sure. Like I already have a whole plan in my head for like, I'm going to call them like procedural. They're going to be like terrain landmarks, and they're going to be like they're kind of like points of interest, but made from terrain. And I plan to sprinkle those throughout the world. And one of those would be a crater, right? And all these zone names are AI generated. Riftwood Forest, you know, Crystal Bloom Sanctuary, the Miner's Shaft of Riches, my Shaft of Riches, Stormvale Plateau. You know, these are all like very flavorful names. Phantom Glow Ridge. You know, like that could be like a shadowy kind of swampy, but like also has a cliff in it type zone, right? That would be a good name. So I'm hoping to pass the things like the landmarks, all the points of interest and stuff that are spawned in the zone. Pass that to the AI. Right now, these are just pure like one-shot names for the zones. But pass all the stuff that's spawned in the zone along with the terrain, points of interest, you know, pass that all to the AI. Give me a name. Give me a name for the zone that's flavorful, right? And maybe I should show let me show the procedural, or not procedural, the AI generated quests. Can I get a zone with my name? Well, if you train the AI on it, I suppose so. Okay. So his name is Vin Blood's Oath. So we're going to generate a quest. Now, Vin Blood's Oath is a 35-year-old male human hunter who is skeptical but intelligent. Vin grew up in a secluded mountain village where he learned to hunt and track from a young age. His skeptical nature was fostered by the village elders, who often shared tales of caution and the importance of questioning everything. As Vin grew older, his intelligence and skepticism led him to question some of the village's more traditional beliefs. This eventually led him to leave the village and travel the world seeking knowledge and truth. So let's see what, while I was reading that, I sent an API request to the Gemini API, and I dumped my entire item database, and usually I dump everything that's spawned into the world, like all the other entities and their backgrounds. I put all that into a giant prompt, and along with a JSON structure, and I say, hey, fill out this JSON with a fantasy RPG video game quest. And I give it some parameters and stuff to use. And this is what it responds with. So we got Whispers of the Brackstone Mine. A mage, eh? So I guess I'm a mage. Fresh out of the academy, judging by that wide-eyed look of yours, look, Blackwood. I guess my name is Blackwood. Okay. Look, Blackwood, I've met a share of spell flingers who couldn't tell a badger from a basilisk, but you might be just what I need. Rumors, Blackwood, whispers on the wind carried by frightened travelers. They speak of Brackstone Mine and of something going on down there. Find out what it is. It is going to need more than just me and an arrow. And then I get some dialogue options from the AI as well. Why do you need a mage for this? I handle it myself, but it sounds like it's going to need more than just me and an arrow. My arrows haven't done much in the land of strange lights so far, and a mage like you might be able to detect something I would not. What makes you think something supernatural is going on? I initially thought it was bandits, but bandits don't typically light strange lights. Plus, no one went missing, save some livestock. That, and I value intuition over foolishness. Let's just say I have a good feeling about this. So I also give it the ability to give me an array of quests. And it does so pretty often, actually. More often than not, it'll give me a chain quest where it's like, go investigate something, then do something about it. Is usually the pattern I get. I'll have to tinker with that quite a bit to get it to give me pretty variable quests. But yeah, it also gives me the quest journal entry information where I tell it to like word this from the player's perspective, you know? And I give it like objectives, and I have like, what do I have? I have like defeat. I have like just talk to, I have like interact with, I have build, like you can build something as a part of a quest. Escort is one, although I've never seen it choose escort. And I don't really, like none of these are really encoded into the world other than the defeat one, where I can actually give it an array called things to spawn, and I say, hey, if you need to spawn anything for the quest, pick the classes from my database that I gave you and put them in this array. And so it does that, and it's actually spawned stuff in the world. Now, it does an absolutely fucking horrid job of picking where to spawn those. So I will probably have to do that for it. It does not understand 3D coordinates very well. So I'll probably have to spawn them based on points of interest or something, right? I'll have to give it a list of points of interest to spawn at. But yeah, that's the quest. 5 gold for a level 1 quest. Yeah, the XP and the gold will probably be based off of some curve that I make, you know, with a little bit of RNG sprinkled on top, you know. You're supposed to get 15 copper or a pair of gray cloth. Hey, I would have killed for a pair of gray cloth pants. I used to get the shit-stained trousers back at level 1 in my day. Those were my RPGs, you know. I don't get the fucking God Slayer's axe at level 2, you know, like today's generation. You should make the quest text slowly fade in, like the Middle Noir quest, incentivizes player to read. Oh, well, I'm hoping to do the... I mean, we'll see. I need to play around with the local model as well, which is going to take up processing power and space and GPU compute and memory and stuff. But I also want to do the AI voice to text. I think that would be really cool. You should change the font. Okay, you're giving me like everything is placeholder right now. Like I'm focusing purely on functionality right now. You know, like. Yeah, I'm just using the default text. Yeah, all that stuff will change, trust me. Just reminded me of Cube World. Infinitely scaling outward from the center of the map, random dungeons and cities. I've not heard of that. Sounds interesting. But I was just kind of going based off of, I guess it was kind of like Valheim. Because like I guess the biomes, there's no levels in Valheim. But, I guess the higher level biomes do get more plentiful the further from the center you get. So yeah, that is the AI generated quests. I'll investigate Brackstone Mine. Good, tread carefully and remember, I want information. Not heroics. Oh, and I have the Explorer objective, which is just going to be like go to a certain location. You know? Just go there. But like that might not be very fun for a quest, you know? And it'll take a lot to get these quests actually grounded in the world. It'll take a lot for that. But for the roguelite part of the game, like, imagine if you were playing Vanilla WoW or something of the like. I'm hoping, you know, Vanilla WoW just in terms of combat and class design, not necessarily the MMO part of things. So I just want, like, a lot of abilities to choose from in combat. Like, I hate the games that are just, like, 4 abilities and an ultimate, you know? Like, that's, like, the standard nowadays. So I want like a lot of abilities to choose from, and as you level up, you will get to pick from one of those abilities that are for that level, right? Like one, I think I'm going to give you like 3 options, and I don't know what the cadence will be. You know, every 2 levels, every 3 levels, something like that. You'll get a choice of 3 different abilities to pick from, and you'll create this build as you level up, as you travel through the world, right? Wow. Wow, you really going to do me like that? Recast nav generator. The recast Ginny. Bailed on me. But yeah, so hopefully every run that you do, I'm also going to experiment with like a long form roguelite. So like most roguelites, the run is like 30 minutes to an hour. I want to do like dozens of hours for a run. And what made me think that that was a good idea is actually playing hardcore WoW back when that first started popping off with the community stuff. And I actually realized that like playing hardcore game modes is actually a long form roguelike. Oh yeah, I'm not finished doing this change. Okay, well we're gonna stare at code while I talk about it then. Can a character be able to cut any tree? Yeah, given a high enough logging level and a good enough axe, yes. Do you like WoW 1 talent every odd level and a spell every even level after level 10? Well, that's not how WoW works. Well, at least not vanilla WoW. I don't know what retail does now, but vanilla WoW you got a talent every level. But I do have talents. I will have talents. Those will be static. So you'll have to pick talents related to the abilities that you've chosen, right? And so that'll be your like build. And I don't want to be one of these games where every build is viable. Or like I don't even want to be a game where I myself as the designer create builds for players to use. Like I think that's actually not a very fun system to interact with. And I used to watch a lot of Kevin Jordan. He doesn't stream much anymore, but he was the original class designer of Vanilla WoW. And hearing his game design kind of ideas and opinions like really inspired me. And he was saying that like when he created the Vanilla WoW classes, and why they felt so much different than what the classes feel like today is because he didn't design a specific rotation in mind. Like all the classes in retail WoW were designed with rotations in mind. Okay, you press this button and, you know, obviously you have this talent because it's the best one in the tree, so that procs another thing, and then you press this other button, and it's all kind of, it's more or less set in stone. It's the illusion of choice is how I see it personally. And why I don't like that so much is because it doesn't let me as the player kind of tinker as much, especially with like the really powerful talents where it's like obvious you have to pick it or else, you know, there's not gonna be much better, and that'll be like kind of a rotation defining talent. And Kevin Jordan was saying that like he created the classes to kind of be templates for like an archetype and allowed the player to do what they want with it. He never developed like a specific rotation in mind when he was creating the classes. So that's kind of more so the mindset I want to go for, where I just give the player a bunch of tools that their class can use it. They'll, you know, of course they'll be thematic, right? You know, the warrior and the rogue will have, you know, the rogue's going to have poisony abilities and abilities that bleed, you know. The fucking paladin will have, you know, abilities that have holy, you know, type damage. It'll be flavorful, but I'm not going to purposefully design any sort of rotation. Maybe just some small synergies and concepts sprinkled throughout each talent tree. So yeah. I play both classic and retail. There's more flexibility in classic for playing how you want. Yeah, and I think also the downside of that system is that the like end game rotations are pretty boring for some classes. Like the mage is just frostbolt for until you go fire in AQ, right? The warlock is always shadowbolt. Always. Every single raid you just shadowbolt. Basically. Yeah, sure, you curse, sometimes you can throw a corruption up there. And so the downside is that like that can happen, where there's just a boring kind of play style that is like the meta. But I'm hoping like with the roguelite aspect to it, like you'll never be able to get like the perfect build because of how much RNG there will be involved in it. And I'm hoping that keeps it kind of fresh, you know, each time you play, you know, it'll reset your build, you know, when you die, you'll start over at level 1, you'll create a new build and stuff like that. Let's finish what I was doing here before I was so rudely raided by Velcro beans. So rude. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you, Velcro beans. I'll have to check him out later. Okay, yeah, so the entity's already edited. Right, so we were at, oh yeah. We were doing this part. We're gonna do a while loop while we iterate over the commands. And I'm gonna remove here, and I shouldn't increment the command index if I've removed. So we need to do that. So subsystem, well no, rather, you know, put that in there. And then the typed buffer, add commands, remove at command index. Okay, there we go. So yeah, if the typed buffer doesn't, so there was a bug right there just waiting to happen. If it doesn't contain the entity already, the already edited entities, we will apply the data. We will remove that. And then we also add here. And then otherwise we do nothing. Yeah. Gonna get some sleep now. It's almost 4 a.m. Oh yeah, go to bed. I appreciate you stopping by. Have a good night, Frantic. Good stream. Catch you again for sure. Hell yeah. I appreciate that. Type buffer. Yeah, okay, so let's, that actually looks good. That actually looks good. So clear, actually, we're not going to empty add commands at all. We will empty the entities already edited, though. And we'll see how that goes. Is that enough to get what I want here? This, we're not going to do anything there. That's now the same as before. Entity subsystem. Let me look at my tick function. I say as I type in tick and then it doesn't take me there. There it is. Okay. Yeah, process pending command buffers. It'll be this one. Yeah, get command processors. Find processor func. We'll have added in there and then we'll run it. And we're getting the pointer to the type buffer. So that should be, yeah, that's a mutable one. What's the best log buffer size you would recommend using in this game when it's released? I don't know what you mean. I'll just be straight up with you. The logs are the logs, and I'm not sure why you would need to pick a buffer size for them. I'm gonna grab another beer. BRB. While that compiles. Okay. Whoop. Okay. I have a nice golden ale. Now. I almost spilled that. Okay, So that rebuilt, and what that should do is isolate the command buffer changes. So it'll be interesting to see what happens now. Does he move? Okay, so he moved once. He's still going. He's still going. His animations aren't correct. Oh, okay, now he stopped. Now he has stopped. State tree. Update within is 0. So that's a good sign. That is different from before. Now, why isn't that getting applied? That's my question. Where is state tree processor? Pin that bad boy. Are we getting here? As tick scheduled is false. Update within is -1. Is it -1 now? I'm showing 0. I'm showing 0. Why are you not? Why don't you have the same data? So the let me do this. Okay. Let me restart. How much beer have I had today? Just 1 beer. I'm on my second though. So like 1.1 so far. 1.2. Okay, so just pause here. Where's my entity here? Let me see. So yeah, it does get updated. Yeah, it never wants to update the entity data. Interesting. Okay. My game will not be available on a cell phone. No. Why wouldn't that be updating the right data? I do cache the data. Send it, but the right buffer should, and I mean the vlogger shows the right information. The state tree does not receive the right information. I'll just put a breakpoint here, so we should be seeing 0. We should be seeing 0 on update within. And it's not. So either one of these is lying to me. Yeah, and I'm getting entity data here, which is the Uncached data. Cached pools. Let me throw a breakpoint there. Can I even, I wonder, can I even look at the data here very well? Okay, cache, I gotta like find it. Because they're all like type erased and stuff. Aggro radius, that doesn't sound right. ASC, that's not right. See, these don't look valid, do they? You are, there we go, state tree data. Okay, cached pools. The cached pool does have -1 there, and that's ID 15. And now this one also has -1 here. Okay, so why is the vlogger not updating this properly, huh? Oh, you know what? I wonder if we're just never... I wonder if we're just never getting through all of the command buffers. Oh yeah, we have a lot there. I am... Okay, so there's an issue there. Am I doing this wrong? I think I'm doing this wrong. No, I'm not. I shouldn't remove. I shouldn't increment when I remove. The typed buffer. Entities already edited. Can I see that? Was it 15? Entities already edited is empty. Add commands does exist. And the logic is we clear and we reset that. And we do that at the end after everything. Yeah, that's good so far. Typed buffer, add commands. If entities already edited doesn't contain the entity, we edit the data. Remove the command. Add the entity to entities. I mean, this logic seems solid. So I'm wondering... I need a breakpoint. I need to see what happens when there are 2 in the queue. I need to follow that scenario. Or maybe that'll be harder to do. Let me first start off by just going in here. Tick state. Well, yeah, there's a vlog. I should have seen the vlog. Oh, I'm breakpointed. Hang on. There's a vlog. I should have seen the vlog. Nature did do things. Okay, yeah, so the state tree like never gets here. So I'm gonna restart. I don't want any of this. It never gets hit. How does that never get hit? Let me think about the scenario of events here. State tree runs on the game thread. Okay, so what happens is there's a move to processor and a state tree processor. Both update the state tree data and both overwrite everything in the state tree data. The thing that I'm confused about, how the fuck does this have update within is set to 0? Because I manually looked at them in tick. Neither of them had zeros. I want to see there, and then I also want to see here. Get entity data. Yeah, whenever this happens, I guess. Put a get all entity data. Ooh. Oh. I'm returning a fucking null point. I just have fucking brand new pointer here. What? The fuck was I expecting to happen here? That does nothing. That does absolutely... Okay, so the vlogger is wrong. The vlogger is showing only default data. Do I have a get all entity data? I do. Oh, and that just calls that. Okay. Get all entity data. So the only reason this is used is for showing the debug information. So I can probably just do this pretty quick and dirty. Oh, and I copy the data. Okay, interesting. The data, and I copy from element.value, which is the dispatcher funcs. Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing. Jesus Christ. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do this. I was doing copy func. Do I get here? I think so. Can I see? Out copy is null pointer. I mean, that should return. I guess this is being called from, show me the stack. Being called from here. The copy func returns true or false, so I should probably log that. Just give me any kind of breakpoint or any kind of line of code so I can breakpoint on it. Put that there, and I can see what all data is an array of stuff. 'Tis an array of stuffs. Yeah, and I can't actually see the data. Can't actually see the data. Let's rebuild. Because it's a generic script struct. You can't actually see the data when you debug an instance struct. It's a pool party, but nobody's in the pool. That's called adulthood. That's what's being an adult is like. That's what being an adult is like. It's a pool party, but no one's in the pool. We're all capable of getting in the pool. None of us are doing it, though. Boring. Also, I'm not trying to get wet, though, so, you know. You're lucky I'm even out of the house, to be honest with you. To be quite frank. What are you coding? A video game. I'm doing some refactors to my ECS system and trying to figure out a good architecture. We're dealing with some command buffer thingos. Okay, why is my breakpoint not there? Why am I not hitting that break? I'm not hitting either of those breakpoints. Oh, because I'm not... someone's got to click the barbecue... That's right. That's right. Someone's got to click the barbecue tongs. They're not going to click themselves. That's for fucking sure. Okay, so we're not even getting there. We're not even getting there. At least not for that entity. Okay, now we are. Success. True. For what data? Ability system. Attachment data. Avatar data. Colony data. Combat data. Equipment. Faction. Input velocity. Null pointer. Don't know what that one's about. ISM entity data. Inventory. LOD. Movement. Move to. Proxy. State tree. Here we go. So it is true. It is true here for state tree. Okay, so no help there. Get pointer, entity data. Is this type erasing? Is this type erasing? Okay, hang on. Unreal Engine does instanced struct get pointer type or object slice is the term I'm using for it. Who knows what object slicing is? It's where you downcast a struct and you lose the data. Because structs don't work that way. But then there are instance structs in Unreal Engine, which kind of make up for that. I've been coding a kernel driver for 3 days straight without a break, and I feel like my head is about to explode. Well, hey, if you start streaming that to YouTube Shorts, people will tell you to just ask ChatGPT. So that's something. If you're anything like me, that would have just made your eyes roll. Take a break, my dude. Take a break. You deserve it. You will have a clearer head when you come back. Oh, hang on. Do I get here? Yeah, okay. Let's see what this data... I mean, this is the wrong... I've kind of already verified that this is the wrong data. Wait, I still can't fucking see it? Okay, I can now. Interesting that the last update, what is this? This is probably just a random float then. Because the rest of this should be default. Well, I guess I can check. The active frames should just be root, active state, root. Wait a second. Index 9 and 10. Where can I see that? States. Index 9 and 10. Wonder. That is the updated information. That is the updated information. How? So get entity data. I use this for both, right? I mean, this is on get entity data pools. I mean, I've looked at it and it's definitely not the default data. I mean, let me look at some other data that's not. Entity data. That might have been what it spawned with. I don't know. Attached component. I mean, it's so hard to tell. Colony data. Why is colony data showing me attached actors? That's not what you're supposed to show. Why are you giving me that? Okay, this is showing me something completely different. Wait, okay, what? Wait, hang on, what? That's showing me something completely different. Ryder, you are being very wrong right now. Bad Ryder. Okay, I gotta look through just this interface, I guess. What, we are on colony entity data. That is confirmed. That much is confirmed. Aggro, that's all, that's default information. Proxy actor. I mean, that did get set. Default equipment. Okay, sure. What is it? Faction? Yeah, that's default information. Input velocity. Last up. That's not a 0. You know. Went off alignment. Keep at it. You can do it. Thank you. Have a good night. The ISM is set. We have data. 441. Let's see if the ISM data is updated next time around. Oh shit, I passed it up. God damn it. Okay, hang on, this time. It was 441. ISM entity data. Okay, what is it going to be now? 401. Okay, see, things are getting updated. Things are getting updated. Okay, so now I'm thinking that there's a bit of a race condition happening. What is that race condition though? First of all, let's grab some info on what order the processors are processing in. Give me that. Instantiated processors. I believe it's okay. So state tree is after move to. Okay. So what would happen is move to would set we would update next frame, which let's just verify that that's happening. State tree data, it's valid. Okay. Breakpoint there. Is it valid? Shit. I mean, I can see information. Update within is always -1 now. I don't know if this breakpoint would get hit or not. It's Writer's very weird about debugging header files. So I mean, I guess I can do this. I mean, I know that it's getting hit. I know that it is. Sure, just log an empty string. Yay. I know that it is. Because I see 0 as the data in the vlogger. I seen it. Just run away for that to build. So what would be happening? We add the entity data or the move to data state tree update next frame, and then on top of that, in the queue gets added the state tree processor update. Yeah, we get there. State tree data, it's 0 now. There, yeah. So we get there. Give me a before and after on here. So before, give me the entity data pools. What was it? Was it 15? It was. It's 0 here. And it's -1 there. Okay. And what is in the I can't see what's in the command buffer, can I? Oh, yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. What do we got? I only have one command here. Why is there only one command? Oh, because I don't... Oh. Oh. Okay, I understand. I understand. Yeah, because we're not even adding it to the command buffer. I'm not adding it to the command buffer. Okay. Yeah, that'll fucking do it. Okay. Now, state tree data is a copy. I need to stop doing this. I need to stop doing what I'm doing right here. Now, what I was thinking is optional data. Give me optional data. And I still don't know that I have a good way to do that. I also, I don't have the, oh yeah, I do. Okay, sorry, never mind. Never mind. It's all new to me. This is new architecture that I've written, so I don't know it very well yet. But my drawing, you wrote it. No. Shush, shush, shush. Yeah, so are we gonna move temp the data in here? Just taking an R value. I think we should. And this, I mean, this data is going to get, okay, so we'll try this. We'll try this. Yeah, get rid of that. Go away. All right. Okay, here's the money. But I should build in a way to... And this is just going to make the fucking for loop even nastier. It's a nasty for each loop. Look at this. It's disgusting. Look how disgusting that looks. This worst thing I've ever written, I think. It's both the worst and the best. I had to use AI quite a bit because it requires template metaprogramming with variadic functions and unpack parameters, which I didn't know any of that before 2 days ago. Okay, please just move again. I need you to move again, please. Please. Okay. It's still not working, I don't think. I think the max is only like 5 seconds for the wander idle. Show me the... Oh my god. It has added 874 add commands. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's gonna happen, right? I guess that's gonna happen because it's adding 2 per frame and it's only processing 1 per frame. So it's gonna be like way behind. Okay, yeah, that's the issue with this approach. That's the issue with this approach. I could change it to where like we don't add new data if there's already data there. But then it's like, why am I running the processor at that point? I should just be running the 2 things in parallel. Really. Because then it's just waste. It's all of it's wasted effort. Let me think. Yeah, I think I definitely need to take a step back. I think I need to take a step back. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. I mean, I guess it technically might. It technically might? I don't know if we just need to like wait a long time, maybe. It's not good, but we shouldn't do it. Too much? Probably too much. What is this here? He is doing things. Oh yeah, he is doing things, but it's like getting reset or something. Failed to find random reachable point. What? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, and so I guess what's the underlying problem I'm trying to solve? I need to update the state tree. I need to make a call to some data from arbitrary locations in my code. Let's say, hey, check the state tree for an update. And I guess there's only certain... Okay, I wonder... I should just be probably conditionally invoking this as well. Maybe I need a not equals operator on the two of these. I can just check if they're not equal. Yeah, let me do that real quick. Give me quality operators. Yeah, just give me, sure, every one. State tree instance data. Yeah, we can't really check that, can we? That makes sense. Why are you mad? What is this? Yeah, okay, yeah, get rid of that. Okay, so we're just gonna check if those are not equal. We're gonna go if state tree entity data, please. Entity state tree data. Okay, rename that. That is not the nomenclature I use. Everything else. State tree data not equal to old entity state tree data. Rename that as well. Old state tree data. Not equal, then we queue the command. That should help. It's still not good. It is still not good. We need to rebuild. Need to recompile. Yeah, so there is still going to be, I guess the only processing one command per entity data type, that requires there to be conditional updates. Otherwise, it is going to exponentially lag behind. Unless I also checked the command buffer at the end of the frame. Process all the commands at the end of the frame and the beginning of the frame. But at that point I could have two. Well, no, I couldn't. No, I couldn't. Never mind. Ignore me, because then that doesn't happen in between. Ugh. That was dumb. Why did I say that? That was dumb. That's not right. Yeah, I mean, the state tree data wasn't updating at all. So this actually might work fine, and it might do in every other... Like, one run of the move to data is always going to be moot. And yeah, so it's like at this point, you might as well run them in parallel. And everything is running on the game thread at the moment. But I was hoping to get them to run on entirely all on the background threads. But yeah, that has issues, doesn't it? Uh-oh, you're not moving at all. Late stream, I know. I'm about to hop off here, probably. Yeah, there's probably just there's probably just like sets of processors that just need to run in parallel, and I was hoping to avoid that, to allow like flexibility, you know? But it is becoming just the easiest way to solve the problem. Yeah, now it's always -1. Now it's always -1. Do we ever... Let me do this. Put that there. You add command. Give me a breakpoint there. I also want to see what is our current command buffers, and also, are we updating from move to? Tune in to find out. Yeah, what's our current buffer? Where is it? Command buffers by type. I don't have, I think 15 is state tree, so we don't have one this frame. Oh yeah, it never gets added. Let me... There's probably a condition that's not captured by this not equals. Yeah. Yeah, there's some condition here that I'm not handling. Oh, yeah, and then I do some shit on the game thread to, like, start the state tree, don't I? Yeah, there's a lot of caveats here. Okay, so I got absolutely nothing accomplished tonight. But that's okay. I had fun. I hope you all did too. I need to get some food. And go to sleep. Who's streaming? Oh, Finn, birthday lizard. Is it Finn's birthday?
Lean forward.
He's not doing game dev, but I might send you guys over there anyway, just in case it is his birthday. Give him some love, you know what I mean?
He's fuming. Handcuffs. Oh, that's good. That's
Finn's
good.
a really
That's
nice guy. He's a Kiwi. He's super cool because of that. I don't think he does YouTube, so sorry, YouTube. You guys are going to go out into the ether. But let me grab the link in case you want to follow us.
Well, I guess I better look at the fucking handcuffs then.
There's Finn is fine over on Twitch. We're gonna raid him.
That's
We're gonna raid him.
Is that some kind of recorder? Is that like
And
a VHS?
I just want to say thank you all for joining me. It was a good time. I'm gonna finish the last of my beer here. Wonderful.
Really?
Thank you all for joining me. It was good. Fun. I didn't do a stream this morning, so I did one tonight. I'll probably be back on tomorrow morning. So give me
he's that mad yet.
8 to 10 hours and I'll be back on.
I think we've got one more chance.
I think we'll see.
Unless
Have
this
a good night,
flips
everyone.
him the
Hope
fuck
to
out.
see you
That
all
looks
again
like
soon.
a person.
Perhaps tomorrow.
Like if me looking, dude, if you don't want people to look at your photo,
Yeah,
don't put it on
bye-bye.
your fucking dashboard in your
Goodbye.
fucking taxi. All right.